Hi everyone and welcome to this LinkedIn Masterclass in the LinkedIn Lockdown Summit. And it's all about how to connect with success on LinkedIn. And I truly believe that there has never been a better time, whether you are a professional or a business owner, to learn how to communicate and network with confidence on LinkedIn than there is now during this period of coronavirus. So this video is going to be roughly 40 minutes of training on LinkedIn. At the very end, I'm going to touch on next steps for those of you who need one-to-one help on LinkedIn going forward. And of course, Q&A, my favorite. I am live here in the chat box today. If you have any questions as you're going through any of the videos, please drop them in the chat box. You will show up as attendee, so anonymous. If you want me to know your name, please type your name in there too. If you've any takeaways as well or comments, don't be shy, drop them in because they will help other people in the chat box. So without further ado, let's get going. If we're not already connected on LinkedIn, it would be great to connect with you there. And I've put up my LinkedIn URL up on the screen. Please send me a personalized connection request and let me know that you did this webinar during the summit, and I will connect with you as soon as possible. You can also follow my company page, which is called My Super Connector, and I have a LinkedIn group which is called Networking Tips with My Super Connector. This is a safe space and an area for us to continue the conversation, and feel free to join the group and ask me some questions in it. So up on the screen now, I have the stats for LinkedIn as of May 2020, and you can see there are currently 690 million members in 200 countries and regions worldwide. 1 out of every 3 professionals in the world is on LinkedIn. Sure, there are over 2 billion Facebook users. However, the people on LinkedIn are in that professional business mindset. LinkedIn is also the most powerful online network in terms of B2B lead generation and in terms of building your personal brand. This is what most of us think of when it comes to LinkedIn. We think of an online CV, we think of spammy salespeople in our inbox, we think of recruiters reaching out, human resources, career services, and corporate. Ultimately, we think of people in suits and that it doesn't necessarily apply to us as a business owner. I realise that some of you listening here today may be new to LinkedIn, so I'm just going to briefly break it down for you. So, what is LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is many things. Firstly, an information rich database of connections, company pages, and groups, searchable by both Google and LinkedIn's own algorithm. LinkedIn is a networking tool where you can see mutual connections with third parties. It's a fantastic platform for growing personal brands and establishing experts. It's also a platform for showcasing endorsements and recommendations. Ultimately, it's a way for potential clients to find what they need in various ways via LinkedIn search, in LinkedIn groups, and via content from their first, second, and third degree connections. I've great news for everybody listening here today. LinkedIn works for absolutely everyone. It works for all businesses, all industries, and all career stages. So, whether you're a startup or B2C or B2B, maybe you're running a salon or a coffee shop, or you're considered an influencer, LinkedIn works for everybody. There are tons of benefits when it comes to using LinkedIn. Firstly, it's an amazing way to network, and you can do that via the home feed, LinkedIn Messenger, and groups. And of course, I'm going to be going a little bit more into that in the other separate videos which are going to follow this. You can also use LinkedIn to research and gather market intelligence, to develop brand awareness, to generate leads and to increase sales, to find new partners and businesses to collaborate with, to find a new employer or potential employees, and to establish yourself as an expert and thought leader in your field by answering questions and posting on your preferred subject. Today, I'm going to touch briefly on my journey using LinkedIn as both an employee and an entrepreneur. So, I'm originally from Dublin in Ireland, and I studied a BA there in English and French. On graduating, I fell into the world of admin, which seemed to suit my personality, and I worked for a technology magazine back in Dublin as an editor's assistant. Being young, I wanted to travel, so I went to Australia for a year, and then after that, I found myself in London. I was unable to break into publishing, so I rebranded myself as a high level personal assistant, and that's where I discovered LinkedIn. I started to connect with my colleagues, first locally, then nationally, and then around the world, and likewise my peers. I also connected with suppliers, so at the time, a lot of restaurants and hotels, and anybody who could really help me do my job better. I also started to connect with trainers, brand ambassadors, people who were giving back and making an impact. In the top left hand corner, I won the title of the most networked PA in London, and that was mainly down to my LinkedIn usage. So before going to any networking event or conference, I would try to get the delegate list and connect with people in advance. So by the time I arrived there, they already welcomed me, they recognized me, they'd already bought into that know, like, and trust factor, which is super powerful. I then went on to win a National Rising Star Award from We Are the City and a Global Super Achiever Award from Pitman Training. Fast forward a few years, and I quit my job in financial services as a PA. Basically, what happened was I slipped a disc. I had to have back surgery and get the disc taken out. So, for a month after my surgery, I was lying on the ground. I had a lot of time to think about my life, my future, where I was going with my life. So, I decided that I actually wanted to help more people. I really enjoyed using social media. I figured I was pretty good at it. I'd won all of these awards. I was ranked as the number one PA in the UK online. And I slowly came to the realization that not everybody liked social media like me. They didn't find it easy. They were especially intimidated by LinkedIn. And I thought, I can help people to find their voice online. I want to share the LinkedIn love. And that's why I set up my company, My Super Connector. So I did that in 2017, and I've used it in pretty much the same way. I do a combination of the home feed, LinkedIn Messenger, and LinkedIn groups, and I connect with peers, suppliers, ambassadors, trainers, anyone that I find interesting and engaging. Basically, givers. I connect with givers. Life is too short to connect with takers. And I went on to achieve success as a business owner. I was highly commended for my commitment to the community by the Croydon Awards. I had helped a lot of companies in Croydon with volunteering on their social media. I also run events such as LinkedIn Local and She Means Business. I went on to win the title of Social Media Influencer from the Venus Awards, and I've had amazing opportunities. I was spotlighted in the F Entrepreneur campaign, which is showcasing inspiring business owners, female business owners in the UK. So I've been invited to Number 10 and to the House of Lords and featured on magazines and on the radio. One thing that I did as both an employee and a business owner is I give. So, the secret to connecting with success on LinkedIn is giving. And I love this quote in particular from Dale Carnegie. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. And when it comes to LinkedIn, you need to make friends and you need to give in order to get real traction. If you're making it all about you and trying to get people interested in you, so it's all very me on your home feed, you're not going to get the success that you want. So, like it says, if you become interested in other people, you will get more traction. So, the law of reciprocity will kick in. Giving is contagious. So, yeah, it's all about the giving. When it comes to connecting with success on LinkedIn, it's all about the two P's. So, the first P is your profile. So, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile with the right branding and keywords, and also be mindful of search engine optimization. You also need to explore your privacy and settings. And I find so many people, so many clients have never looked in the back end of their profiles. So it's worth exploring and turning on and off certain features and notifications. So I would urge you all to explore your privacy and settings later on today. The second P is participate. It's not called social media for nothing. You need to be social, and you can do that in three ways. So, via the home feed, which is posts, videos, articles, comments, polls, and documents, via LinkedIn Messenger, which can be one to one messages, group messages, audio and video messages, and via LinkedIn groups. So, you can put posts in the home feed, you can ask questions, you can comment, and you can build your network that way. And of course, I'm going to be going more into depth with the home feed, messenger, and groups in the follow-up videos. When it comes to LinkedIn, whether it's your profile or any of your content or your connection strategy, you need to be mindful of three things: clarity, consistency, and community. You need to be super clear on what you're trying to achieve in your profile and in all your content. Like any networking, you need to be consistent in order to create that know, like, and trust factor. And as I said before, it's all about the giving, it's all about your community. I'm curious, where are you when it comes to the pyramid of success on LinkedIn? Are you absent? Do you have a profile but you never log on? Are you a lurker? Maybe you're lacking in confidence, you're hiding in the sidelines, you feel a bit intimidated. Are you a networker? Are you productive and you're beginning to see the results and influence that you want? Or perhaps you're an influencer and you're posting engaging content consistently and building relationships with your network. If you're absent, don't worry, you're about to get educated on the benefits of networking. If you're a lurker, hopefully the strategies I'll give you today will really help you. If you're a networker, I would advise some accountability, so join a community of engaged members like my LinkedIn group to support consistency. Generally, influencers are making some kind of contribution, so you need to find your purpose in order to really make a difference. I'm going to touch a little bit now on personal branding. And you might ask yourself, why do I need a personal brand as a professional or a small business owner? You're not a big brand like Nike or Amazon. Your personal brand is your business, especially where LinkedIn is concerned. We all have a personal brand, whether we're aware of it or not. And to quote Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So it's not really what you say about yourself. So your personal brand, it's your reputation and credibility, it's your personality, it's your online presence, and it's your energy. You need to be mindful that you come across as the same person offline and online. There's nothing worse if you meet someone in real life and they don't quite match their online persona. Think of it as online dating. It doesn't help to create that know, like, and trust factor. So at all times, be you. Don't try to copy anyone else. Be you. You'll enjoy LinkedIn a lot more. It'll become easier for you. And being you is your USP. Today, we're talking all about first impressions on LinkedIn. So, I'm going to show you three simple LinkedIn profile tweaks that you can do, which will help you to position your brand with clarity and confidence, to attract the right audience and opportunities, to grow real life influence, to generate visibility and leads, to build authority and expertise, to help you connect to decision makers and action takers. We want action takers on LinkedIn. And ultimately, to create a career and business that you love. When it comes to your profile on LinkedIn, and indeed any content that you post out on LinkedIn, you need to be aware of AIDA, AIDA, which is the basic principle of copywriting. So you need to grab people's attention. You need to generate some kind of interest and spark a desire in them so that they are inclined to read on. And you need to get them to act. We need action takers on LinkedIn. Three ways to make an impact and create that all important first impression are through your cover banner, your headshot, and your headline. Up on the screen now, I have my LinkedIn cover banner. otherwise known as a cover photo. And this is the area behind my headshot, my head. You can see I have it branded. It's in my brand colors. We've got my logo. You can see at a glance that I'm a LinkedIn specialist. I've listed all of my services and I've also listed my website. Your cover photo is your opportunity to showcase your personality and to warm up your audience. So you need to think of it as your West End or your Broadway banner. If you want to create your own LinkedIn cover banner, you can do so on a site like Canva, so canva.com. If this isn't for you, I completely get it. I'm quite graphically challenged myself. I would recommend that you outsource it to a graphic designer or a virtual assistant specializing in graphics. When it comes to your profile headshot, there are two things your profile headshot should be. The first is 400 by 400 pixels. Don't worry about this too much because when you go to upload it, it will tell you this. I also believe that your entire face should be centered and visible. This is not Instagram. This is not a place to get creative, artistic. I believe people need to see your eyes head on in order to generate that know, like, and trust factor. People need to be able to recognize you so that when they meet you at a face to face event, they know it's the same person. Ask yourself these questions when it comes to your profile headshot. Is it a selfie? Is it well lit and professional looking? Is it current? Does it even look like you? Do you look approachable? Do the colours you've chosen reflect your brand? Are you dressed suitably for the profession that you're representing? Would you want to do business with the person in the photo? If you are feeling brave and you want unbiased feedback from both the public and artificial intelligence, you can check out a website such as photofeeler.com. This is free to do, and you can load up a profile headshot or two, and then you are ranked. I actually did this when choosing my own headshot, and my current one was the one that scored the highest. I'd now like to touch a little bit on SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's important to note when you're saving down photos, so either your profile photo or your cover photo, or indeed any kind of media that you attach to your profile, whether it's in the summary or any of your experience sections, that you give it a good name for SEO. So you can see on the screen, I have a very long name saved for both my profile photo and my cover photo. So my profile photo is Jennifer Corcoran, LinkedIn consultant, social media consultant, LinkedIn expert, United Kingdom. And yes, you can have a name that long, you can put in the commas. You need to think, what are your keywords? How do you want Google and LinkedIn to find you and index you in the search engine? And put that all in. And the same goes for your cover photo. So, what does your business do? What do you offer? What are your keywords? So, my cover photo is my super connector, so my company name, social media consultancy, LinkedIn consultancy, United Kingdom. So, I've tried to cram in a few keywords there. People may find me through social media or through LinkedIn or through United Kingdom or through my company name. So, you have to have a good think, what are your keywords? And once you've saved that photo, load it up. So you cannot do it the other way. So if you've already saved your profile photo as abc.png, you can't go into LinkedIn and save it again. You probably need to delete it off, then give it a proper name and upload it again. So hopefully this helps you. So this is just a screen grab of my headline. So we've got on the screen now, we've got the cover banner, the cover photo behind my head. And as I mentioned before, this is your West End banner. You can see at a glance, I've got my logo up there, my super connector. You can see I'm a LinkedIn trainer. You can see I do one-to-one training. I have an online program and workshops, and I'm also spotlighting my website URL. We've also talked about your profile headshot. Now we're down to the headline, which is the area underneath your name. I feel it's important to touch on your name before we actually dive into your headline. This is a mistake I see frequently made on LinkedIn. Your first and your last name should always be written in full. Don't use any initials, so for example, J. Corcoran, because nobody's going to look me up with an initial. You need to always capitalize the first letter of each of your names, so your first name and your surname. If you write everything in upper or lowercase, it doesn't look professional. You need to stay consistent. I mentioned this at the start: consistency, clarity, community. You should use exactly the same version of your name wherever it appears. As an example, don't use Jennifer if you use Jen everywhere else. Don't use any special characters or symbols within the name field. You can use characters or symbols within the headline, but when it comes to your name, just leave it as your name. And finally, LinkedIn allows you the option to include your maiden name in brackets. If that's appropriate to you and your career to date, I would advise that you use it. When it comes to your LinkedIn headline, you really need to have the X factor. Ask yourself, do you really stand out? The headline is the most common mistake made on LinkedIn. Your headline is not your job title, it's a lot more. Ask yourself, who are you? Who do you help and how do you help them? I've put an example up on the screen. We have John Smith, translator, on the left, and on the right we have John Smith, London-based translator, specialising in French, Spanish and Italian for the hospitality industry. Now, John on the right has a far greater chance of being found on LinkedIn with the LinkedIn search algorithm than John on the left does. There will be thousands of translators, if not millions. Whereas if you were actually going to search for someone like John, it's likely you would actually type in the word London if that was a keyword, then again translator, and then maybe one of the languages, and John will show up. He will not show up if you do not optimize the headline area. So let's break down the headline formula. So the first part is to describe what you do, which is essentially your job title. So you need to ask yourself, how will people find you via the LinkedIn search function? Is it via your job title or in a more general way? So whatever you choose, you need to be super clear. To quote Seth Godin, not everyone is your customer, so you need to be really clear in your headline as to who exactly you can help. If you only work in a particular industry, maybe it's construction, if you only help SMEs, maybe you're only based in New York and you only work out of New York, you need to put that in your headline and be really clear as to who exactly you can help. And the third part of the formula. So you can add what value, benefit, or expertise that you can bring to your target audience using the most popular keywords within your industry or niche. If possible, you can include some kind of proof point that can really elevate your headline and give you that bit of the X factor. So, for example, in my headline, I've listed that I'm an award-winning LinkedIn trainer, which helps me personally to build on my credibility and authority and to generate leads. Are you still stuck as to what to put in your headline? Hopefully, these points will help you. Consider your location, your industry and sector, any specialism that you wish to highlight, your years of experience. So whether you have 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, stick that down. It all helps with the know, like, and trust. Have you won any awards or been nominated or shortlisted? What are your keywords? Can you inject some personality into that headline? Whatever you do, you need to be super specific and use clear language. At all times, you need to ask yourself, does this headline align with my personal brand and does it effectively deliver my value? I want to digress a little bit here just to tell you a little bit about the LinkedIn Rockstars community. I think this will be useful for you. So, this community was set up by an American LinkedIn trainer called Brenda Meller from Meller Marketing. And once a month, Brenda publishes stats for both LinkedIn trainers and professionals, so non-LinkedIn trainers, and she shows the percentage growth since over the previous month. And I was really lucky. A month or so ago, I jumped to the top of the list. So I was number one on the list for LinkedIn trainers around the world. And in comparison to some of those trainers, I'm a bit of a small fish. At this moment, I have about 13,000 followers, and some of them have up to 150,000. So I wanted to really share the rockstar ethos, which explains how I jumped to the top of the list. So the R, it's a real desire to help. So it's all about the giving. The O is outstanding knowledge. So it's about educating and informing your audience. The C, it's about caring attitude. So, it's all about building relationships, caring about your connections. They are all human beings. The K is kind and giving. Again, the giving. The S is all about being super connectors, which is what I do. The T is about trusting your network and building that trust with your network. The A is about actively engaging. As I said, it's social media. You need to be social. You need to participate. And the R is about being a relationship builder. So I don't just, collect connections. I try to actually build relationships with these people over the years. So I would urge you all to check out this list, and I'll try and drop a link to it in the chat box. And give Brenda a follow, and then follow some of these LinkedIn trainers. If not all of them, you'll get really interesting content in your feed. I don't profess to be the ultimate LinkedIn guru. I have my style. I'm about personal brand, the profile, organic reach, the free version. So I don't really specialize in premium, sales navigator, paid advertising, but a lot of these guys do. So check out the list and try and apply that rockstar ethos to everything you do, and you will get traction on LinkedIn. I just wanted to share some of the secrets really to my successes on LinkedIn as both an employee and a business owner. And I've already touched on them here today. So, the three secrets really for achieving any of my awards or recognition is number one, I am social. Number two, I am consistent. And number three, I give back to my community. I've managed to generate some amazing opportunities as a result of my LinkedIn usage. I've already touched on being spotlighted in awards and campaigns. I've also had national press coverage and featured on the radio and many other things. And I'm not telling you all of this to be like, wow, am I amazing? Check me out. At the heart of the matter, I am very much an introvert, even though I'm chatty. And up to the age of 40, I never put myself in the spotlight. I never entered awards. I was very much in the sidelines, helping other people to shine. I had absolutely no interest in stepping up. But the amazing thing about LinkedIn was that it allowed me to find my voice and get myself heard and give me visibility I didn't really realize that I wanted. So if somebody like me can get the confidence and the courage to put myself out there and raise my visibility, I know that all of you listening can today. So if you implement some of the top tips I'm going to share with you, I know you're going to stand out a lot more on the platform. I'm now going to touch on your SSI score, which stands for Social Selling Index. This is the metric built into the back end of LinkedIn, and it will help you measure and evaluate how effective you are at establishing your professional brand, finding the right people with LinkedIn search, engaging with insights, and building relationships. So this score, it's updated daily and it ranks you in two ways. Firstly, according to industry, and secondly, according to your network at large. I promise all will make sense in a slide or two. LinkedIn don't make it very easy for us. There's no way to just quickly click on your profile and find this score. You have to actually copy and paste the link I've put here. And once you type in that link, if you have LinkedIn open, it will take you into the back end of your profile. And I'll show you what that looks like now in the next slide. So this is my SSI Social Selling Index score. I'm scoring 81 out of 100, and I'm in the top 1% of my industry, which is social media trainers, and I'm scoring in the top 3% of my network at large. So that's all of my connections mixed in. I have full marks for building relationships and almost full marks for establishing your professional brand. And that's what I say my expertise is when it comes to LinkedIn. I have a bit of work to do when it comes to search and finding the right people and also engaging with the insights and the analytics. So, what I would advise today is for you all to note your SSI score, note it down, then do some tweaks based on my tips today, and you should see your score rise. And I'd love to know if that happens for you. All I'll say is don't get too hung up on the score. It's a rough gauge to let you know how you're doing. In case you missed the link for the SSI score, I've just put it up again on the screen. You might want to just do a quick copy and paste and open the link up in a separate browser, and then you'll be able to go straight into the back end and have a look and see what your SSI score is. If I was to quickly summarize in 5 top tips, what I've touched on today would be the following. Number 1, be intentional. Always ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve on LinkedIn? Number 2, be you. Don't compare yourself to anyone else on LinkedIn. Number 3, first impressions count. Optimize your profile to attract your target audience. Number 4, the 2 P's. Work on your profile and then participate. Number 5, be a giver. Be social, be consistent, and cultivate a community. I'm going to quickly touch on some next steps for those of you who have watched this and think I need a little bit more help. So one of my gifts to you today is my LinkedIn Profile Success Checklist, which is a free PDF document, and you can get this by signing up to my mailing list on my website, which is www.mysuperconnector.co.uk, and it's a really useful document, a checklist if you will, and it will take you step by step through your profile and really help you optimize it and get it working for you. For those of you who want to do a deep dive and do a LinkedIn strategy session with me, they are run on Zoom. They are an hour long, and I share the screen with you, or you share the screen from your side, and I can give your profile a virtual audit, and then we touch on your content and your connection strategy. It's then followed up, usually within 24 hours, with a written strategy audit email, which summarizes everything we've talked about. And I also send you a copy of the Zoom video in an MP4 file so that you can look back over it. So it's perfect for anyone who wants to just kickstart their strategy and get LinkedIn working for them. For those of you listening today who think they want to go a bit deeper into LinkedIn and they would like a little bit more training rather than just a one-off strategy session, I have my LinkedIn Profile Success Program, which can really help you whether you're a professional or a business owner. So it comprises of 2 things. The first thing is access to my online course, which is called LinkedIn Profile Success, you've guessed it. And this takes you step by step through your profile, every little section. And it also gives examples of great profiles around the world. So great headlines, great cover banners, great headshots, great summaries. So it really starts to get you thinking. Also, some extra freebies and resources included in the course. So if you look at the course outline, you can see what's involved. And the training is done in 3 ways because I know everyone likes to learn differently. So I've got video training in there, also audio files that you can download. You can listen to them in the garden, wherever you're going, and PDF checklists for those of you who like to print and read. So it's suitable for every kind of learning style. And it's self-paced, usually takes probably 3 to 4 hours. Some people do it all in the one day, others space it out, over a week, maybe a half an hour a day. And when they're finished, they get in touch and I send them a Calendly diary link and they book in for their strategy session. So the Zoom session I just mentioned. So it's a no-brainer really to sign up for the program because essentially you're getting the course for free until the end of June. And you will have access to the course for the rest of 2020. So even if you want to do a deep dive into the strategy strategy, it's worth signing up to the program because you will get access to the course and you can do it in your own time. Open the screen now. I have a testimonial from Melissa, who runs a marketing agency called White Camino, and we recently worked together on the LinkedIn Profile Success Program. And I just want to read out her quote because I think a lot of people feel the same. So at the start, she says, "To be brutally honest, I had been avoiding getting truly stuck into LinkedIn," which I think a lot of people are, until I met Jennifer at a conference we were both speaking at. Her energy and enthusiasm for the platform encouraged me to try the LinkedIn Profile Success Program, which is an online course with a Zoom one-to-one strategy session. I am now a convert. It was so thorough and well presented with actionable insights I can apply to my marketing agency, White Camino. I highly recommend. Oh, and watch out, I'll be flexing my new LinkedIn muscle shortly. So as you can see, I have hopefully shared a bit of my LinkedIn love with Melissa. She's feeling invigorated and energized, and she's going to be able to apply everything I have taught to her marketing agency. And I find a lot of people avoid getting stuck in, and I promise within an hour or within a few hours on my program, I will change the way you think about LinkedIn and the way that you use it and really help you connect with success. I've also started to help a lot of professionals with their job search, whether they're facing redundancy or just wanting a new challenge. So, Carl on the screen is based in Devon, like myself, and he came to me a few months ago asking me to help him in his job search. And he said he wanted to get a new job within 30 days. I can't promise that for everyone, but I did say to him, I can promise to connect you to recruiters and your target audience and get you an interview within 30 days. And we did it actually. I did actually get him a new job within 30 days, and he's worked out his probationary period and now given me this testimonial. So, if you need help connecting with recruiters and making those first steps, I can help you with that as well. I can help you audit your profile, get it ready. So, I don't just work with business owners, and I wanted to shout about this a bit because I know so many professionals are now facing redundancy. Or having to reduce their hours, or maybe they've had time to think like I had after my back surgery and decided, what, I want to change in direction. So don't be shy to reach out to me if you are a professional and you would like some help. So, in summary, working with me going forward on a one-to-one basis will mean that you will increase your confidence, and you will do that by polishing your online presence, by identifying the most appropriate LinkedIn strategies for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. I will also help you to develop your networking skills, giving you more confidence in your ability to connect and engage with others in your network. I will also help you to increase your LinkedIn visibility and make your voice heard in our busy online world. I will save you valuable time, all the tips and tricks I've learned over the years, and help you increase your return on investment. And I will also help you drive your career and business success. What's not to love? If you're a bit undecided as to what exactly you need to do, by all means, please book in for a free 15-minute discovery call with me. My Calendly link is up on the screen. I usually have the availability a month in advance, but given the current coronavirus climate, I'm doing this weekly. I'm also a volunteer with the NHS, so at the moment I'm offering between 10 and 20 discovery calls a week. If you go to the Calendly link and you don't see any availability, please email me and I will try and slot you in. Thank you everyone. So we've made it to the end of the first video and I hope that you enjoyed it and got value from it. And now you have a bit more of an insight as to what LinkedIn is, how it can work for you, the 2 Ps, profile and participate. So we've touched a lot on the profile and now we're going to touch on participate in the other videos about the home feed, groups and messenger. So I look forward to seeing you there as well. I hope to connect with you all. I really want to hear your takeaways. Are you going to work on your cover banner, your headshot, your headline? Are you going to check out your SSI score? Please don't be shy, engage in the chat box. I am here live today for the 2 hours and I will come and answer your questions. So I would love to hear from you, and any takeaways will help the other people engaging in the chat box as well. So don't be shy. So that's it, folks. You might want to grab yourself a quick water, tea, coffee, wine, whatever, beer, and the next video will be coming up shortly. Okay, see you in the chat box. Thank you.